Let's begin. The movie begins in China Huimin Bank, where Chen Zheng, an average statistical bureau employee, has come to withdraw some money. However, as the man is going about his business, several masked men suddenly enter the bank, guns blazing, and immediately shoot down the guard. They then threaten the whole room to lay low on the floor and begin harassing the employees to fill up their bags with money. As the gang starts filling their bags with all the cash that the bank can offer, all Chen Zheng can do is watch. Suddenly, one of the employees manages to gather some courage and presses the alarm signal, warning the police. The leader of the robber gang notices this and beats the man to a pulp before he warns all his men to start moving out. A black car stops outside for the 4 gang members, who had just finished loading in the money. Just as the final member and gang leader is heading outside, Chen gets up and throws a literal dustbin at the man. When the bin strikes the gang leader, he stumbles and drops the mask on his face. Chen Zheng then uses the special ability that he has and takes a quick look at the man's face. With just a simple glance, Chen Zheng is able to read every single detail in the man's face, the length of his forehead, the width of his lips, and even the distance between his ears. All of the gang leader's features he converts into data with just one glance. The gang leader is perplexed for a second and then leaves, and as soon as he does, Chen Zheng gets up and starts scribbling on the poster of a male model nearby and notes down the dimensions that he gathered earlier. The police soon arrive with Inspector Sun and his other forces, who quickly take the situation under their control. Thankfully, the guard, despite being shot, hasn't succumbed to his injuries yet. When the cops start questioning the witnesses, Chen Zheng comes up to his son and tells him that he had seen the face of the perpetrator's leader. He also corrects the cops who had assumed that there were 4 robbers and tells them that a 5th one was present as well, who brought in the car for them to drive away. Lucky for the cops, Chen Zheng, the brilliant man, had also remembered the license number. And not only that, he had already managed to figure out that the plate was most likely stolen from the Archivers Bureau, since the numbers were in 3 figures just like the ones that are in the archives only. Amazed by the skill of this random man, the inspector tells his men to take him to create a sketch for the suspect, while he orders the others to track down the number plate that Chen Zheng had given them. At the police station, Chen Zheng gives the precise details and data that he had noted down earlier to the sketch artist as they race to create the sketch of the culprits. Inspector Sun, on the other hand, goes to get the report about the car with the fake number plate and finds out that the car, which was also a stolen one, had been abandoned by the culprits. They had used the farmer's market to take cover and escape. Frustrated, Sun returns to check on the sketch and finds that for the first time in his career, the artist had been able to visualize the culprit in the very first attempt. Sun is not so convinced after witnessing this, because no person could ever remember a face with such precision on the very first time they meet. Chen Zheng tries to assure the inspector that he was sure about his abilities and that the process was a well-known form of statistical trick called data portrait. When the inspector is still not convinced, Chen stares at him and tells the sketch artist the dimensions to Sun's face without opening his eyes. The portrait is exactly the same as Sun, finally making him realize that Chen Zheng was the real deal. Quickly, he sends the culprit's picture for reference in their records, and only after a few days of investigation, the robbers are caught. The men, led by their gang leader, Ding Qiang, are all caught and put to jail. The man who had helped the police track down and capture such dangerous robbers in only a few days, Chen Zheng, is also very famous and all over the news. Soon, the people start calling him the numerical whiz, and everyone starts to follow him around to ask questions or take autographs. Chen Zheng, who's been an introvert all his life and hates having a lot of people swarming around him at all times, finds it difficult to deal with his newfound fame. The people were following him everywhere and there seemed to be no end to it. They even start following him to his office. Frustrated, Zheng goes to his boss's office to complain about why all the reporters and interviewers were allowed to enter the premises of the office. But his boss thinks it's a good thing that the press was loving him and giving him a good reputation, as that would help the office as well. After all, a well-liked director of the office would make for such a good social status of the company. At this, Zheng is confused. When did he become the director of the office? The boss opens a drawer and hands him the promotion certificate at this very moment. Zheng is reluctant to take the offer, but the boss assures him that he deserves the promotion no matter if he's famous or not. After a tiresome day at the office, Chen Zheng goes to the hospital along with his wife to visit his brother Chen Mo, who has been recovering from the leg injuries that he suffered a few years ago. Chen Mo sits with his niece as she reads him a book and watches his brother and sister-in-law walk up to his room. The doctors have given Chen Mo the permission to leave the hospital and tell Zheng that it's unlikely that Mo can ever come back to the same strength with his legs. Mo is a real reclusive man who lives alone in a computer repair shop that he owns. The man has little to no money and seems to always have a grim look on his face. He is the complete opposite of his younger brother Chen Zheng. The family decide to celebrate the New Year festival together the next day, as Zheng and his family leave Mo alone at the shop. The next day at the police station, suddenly, one by one, all of the computers start to shut down until finally the main screen at the center of the room shows random numbers, like the Matrix, flowing through the screen. The officers are perplexed as to what had happened to their system and suspect that a virus has taken over. However, the more they investigate, they realize that the numbers appearing on the screen correspond to the Chinese characters, and upon matching, they call out the names of the cops and Chen Zheng several hundred times. Immediately, Zheng is called into the scene to see if he knows anything about the strange occurrence. When Zheng arrives, he's a bit frustrated as he wanted to take his family away to celebrate the festival. However, as the cops explain the situation to him, he decides to focus his attention here. Just as he is filled in with all the details, the numerical screen changes to show the image of a red-dressed woman who calls herself the Flower Demon. The woman explains that she had hacked into the police network system and had full control over the security cameras inside and outside the building. When Sun's men try to track her down with her IP, she openly gives the IP to them, challenging them to find her. The IP turns out to be a VPN user's IP, and it will take them time to find the actual address of the perpetrator. This also, however, is already seen by the Flower Demon, who has control of all the CCTV cameras in the room. The police are frustrated and ask what the Flower Demon wants and why she was doing all of this. The demon then goes on a rant about how some people are innocent and others are not, and how the police had made some bad decisions lately. She asks them to release the last culprit that they had caught, Ding Qiang. The cops chuckle at the idea and tell her that there was no way Ding Qiang was getting out of prison so easily. Flower Demon tries to warn them that the consequences would be dire if they do not do as she asks, but the cops do not heed her warning at all. So, the Flower Demon shows her true reach. She asks the policemen to look outside from their office and proceeds to blow up the 5th floor of the adjoining building. Shocked, the policemen rush to the place. Thankfully, none of the people were injured or killed during the explosion, but one thing was for sure: Flower Demon was not joking around. Inspector Sun is super pissed at the Flower Demon and wants to have her caught immediately. He put one of the female officers to watch all the CCTV footage to find out who might have planted the bomb, and goes to check if the IT guys had figured out who or where the Flower Demon was. The IT guys had managed to use the VPN's ownership details to find that it belonged to Ding Ruobing, an MIT graduated hacker who was also the daughter of Ding Qiang. Inspector Sun's anger is through the roof, and he barges back into the station demanding Flower Demon, or Ding Ruobing, to surrender. But the hacker is in no mood to do so. She tells them that she had planted 2 other bombs, significantly more powerful than the first bomb. She gives them time to think about her offer and releases Ding Qiang and once again turns the screen back to the floating numbers. Sun and his men then go to the prison to interrogate Ding Qiang and make him reveal the location of his daughter Ding Ruobing. But the man doesn't seem to budge and reveals nothing to the cops. Frustrated, they return back to the police station where Flower Demon once again appears. This time she proposes a different solution to their problem. she challenges the numerical whiz Chen Zheng. If he can answer 2 of her questions within the time limit, she will reveal the location of the bombs. With no other choice left, and the IT guys still wanting more time to crack the location of the culprit, Zheng agrees. For the first question, Ding Ruobing gives him 30 minutes to solve what looks like 4 questions. Zheng, however, explains that this was one question where there's one positive question which would reveal the general location of the bomb, and 3 other questions would reveal more info about the bombs. An NP completeness problem. Zheng quickly gets to work and Sun asks his men to gather the best maths teachers from around town. However, when all the other math teachers gather to help Zheng around, Ding Ruobing warns them that if they help the man, the bombs would explode. 16 minutes pass, and Zheng finally begins to solve the question with much precision and finally is able to solve the main problem. Ding Ruobing reveals the location of the bomb to be at the museum, and the cops quickly rush to the scene. For the next questions, Zheng remembers the time of his past and the time with his brother Mo, who is always much more talented than he was. Mo had taught him a trick on reduction, using which Zheng at his present is able to solve the problems just within the minute mark to reveal the exact location of the bomb, and Sun is barely able to save himself and others from the impact of it. Sun returns back to the police station furious and demands Ding Ruobing to give up, because if he caught her, she would be in a lot of trouble. Ding Ruobing doesn't care, however, and this time gives Chen Zheng an even harder problem, Alan Turing's AI problem. When Zheng complains that the solution is impossible in half an hour, Ding Ruobing gives him an hour to solve the problem. There's only one issue, however. Zheng doesn't know how to solve the equation. The news of the bombings quickly spreads all over the media, and Zheng's wife also arrives at the police station with a plan. She knew that Mo could actually solve the problem and tells the inspector that they should go and pick him up from the store. Sun is a bit confused as to why Mo was more talented than Zheng when he was just a high school graduate, but Zheng's wife, Guy, tells him that in the past, Mo was an actual maths genius who didn't get to go to college due to the fact that their family didn't have enough money to send both the sons to college. The father had decided their fates using a paper lucky draw, and Mo was unlucky to be chosen to stay behind and look after the shop while Zheng got to go to university. The two then reach the store, pick up a reluctant Mo, and take him to the police station. By the time they reach there, there's only 20 minutes left. However, Mo is able to solve the question within the time frame and give the answer to Zheng. As everyone rushes to Zheng to see where the bomb is, the screen shows a message that the bomb was in the police station itself, in one of the closets. The building is quickly evacuated, and barely in the final seconds, one of the officers manages to throw the bomb out and save the day. Finally, everyone returns back home, and Zheng goes to drop off his disabled brother back to his store. There, as Zheng puts Mo aside and looks for the AC remote, Mo slowly gets up from his chair. He could walk. He takes a chair nearby and slams it onto his brother's neck, rendering him unconscious. At the police station, all the cops are adamant to find Ding Ruobing. But then one of them comes up with the news: Ding Ruobing is dead. Or rather, had been dead for almost a month now. Her body was found in the freezer at Ding Qiang's home, and once again, Sun and his men go to question the prisoner. Qiang admits that his daughter had been dead by overdose, and he hadn't been able to do the funeral because he felt helpless. He requests the cops that they bury her, and then as they're about to leave, he tells them that Chen Mo, Chen Zheng's brother, was actually in jail with him back in the day. Sun's suspicion rises, and then he becomes sure that Mo was the flower demon, when his IT guys figure that the address of the flower demon was actually Mo's store. At the store, Mo has actually changed himself into Zheng's clothes. He remembers the past where he lost everything to Mo. He had topped the entrance, but Mo got to the university, not him. Guy was once his lover, but Zheng had stolen her too. And then 6 years ago, Zheng was the one who had caught him with an illegal software, and while escaping from him, Mo had gotten into an accident that almost killed him. For 6 years he was sentenced to jail. Zheng had taken everything from him, and now he would take everything from Zheng by becoming Zheng. He ties his brother up with a bomb and heads to his house to live as Zheng. As Mo is having dinner with Guy and his new family, he gets a call from Sun who tells him that Mo is the flower demon, and they were heading to his store to catch him. Mo gets up to leave to witness the result of his actions, and Guy hugs him from behind to try and stop him, but he leaves anyway. Guy, however, manages to recognize that this wasn't her husband from the smell and quickly calls Sun to notify him of the mix-up. Outside the store, as Mo and Sun converse, the bomb explodes. But thankfully, much to Mo's dismay, the cops manage to save Zheng. Sun also gives Mo a roundhouse punch for all the trouble he had given them, and he is taken into custody. The movie ends with the past, when Zheng and Mo's father had made them pick the lottery for the university. It turns out that he'd made sure that Zheng would not go to the university. Later, in a letter, the father explains that despite Mo being a genius, he could never beat Zheng, as Mo could never learn empathy, and a person who lacks empathy is simply not a person at all. That was all from the video. I hope you liked it. Subscribe for more content like this, and hit the like button to help us out. Also, leave a comment if you want us to recap your favorite movie. Until next time, take care.